Last week, I told you about an IELTS student who invented an entire bowl of instant noodles to answer the question, what's your favorite meal to cook? Today, we're building the full system behind why that works and exactly where it stops working. Okay, let's reframe it properly this time. So, IELTS speaking has four criteria. We have fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range, and pronunciation. Not one of those things said truthfulness. Nobody's checking whether you cook, whether you visited that city, whether you even have that opinion. They're not checking any of that, which means the moment that you freeze because you don't have a real answer, you're often solving the wrong problem and you're protecting something that the examiner was never grading and actually doesn't care about. Take part three. This could be an example question. Do you think cities will become less car dependent in the future? You might have absolutely zero opinion on urban planning, but that doesn't matter. Pick a position, invent a plausible reason, and just deliver it fluently. Kind of like this. I guess I'd say yes, mainly because younger people in my country seem far less interested in owning a car than their parents were. Is that true? No idea. Probably absolutely not. But the thing is it fluent? Yeah. Is it coherent? Definitely. Was it grammatically sound? Yeah. So that's the entire mark scheme right there. And if building fluency like this without the panic sounds useful, the course goes way, way deeper into exactly this kind of pressure proofing. Take a look at my website. Go check it out. Go do that now or after the video. So this sounds like a really cool idea. You don't have an opinion or no, so you just invent something, kind of telling what we'd call a white lie, maybe. But before we turn this into permission to just invent anything, anywhere, there is a little bit of a boundary and it matters. In IELTS writing task 2, a personal example works in exactly the same way. My cousin runs a small business and told me blah, 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 blah. Nobody's going to check if your cousin exists or if he does exist, if he runs a business. But a fabricated statistic, that's a different animal altogether. Studies show that 73% of people eat 12 pineapples per week. Okay, that's maybe an extreme, very silly example, but inventing things on the spot, like, oh, 73% of people say, when it's dropped into an essay or like it's a real citation, it tends to read as exactly what it is. It's a guess wearing a lab coat. Your guess could be correct, but just adding random statistics to it is not a good way to go. IELTS task response wants your example developed and relevant, not dressed up as external proof that it can't back up. So here's what I recommend. Invented personal stories, completely fine. In speaking and writing, both. Invented statistics, presented as fact, just don't. The line was never lie. It's never fake authority that you don't have. Yeah? Right, so building this before test day looks like this. Prepare 3 or 4 flexible scenarios in advance. It could be a hobby that you don't have, but you could describe. A minor challenge that you didn't face, but you could tell a story about. A person who doesn't exist but sounds exactly like someone's uncle. Then rehearse them. Rehearse them for fluency, not for fact checking, because the version of you that freezes while you're hunting for a true story loses more marks than the version of you that answers instantly with a completely invented one. Yeah, another way to build up this bank, if you think about it from the practice tests and everything else that you've done, IELTS tends to have very similar kinds of questions and very similar topics. Maybe a lot of those topics you have an opinion about. There's something you could say. Maybe there's some of them that you don't. And they're the ones where you need to invent an uncle or what, whatever else, whatever crazy character you want. Obviously, not too crazy, but I think you get the picture and you know what I mean. So I hope that helps, and I hope you never have to freeze over honesty again in an exam. Just remember, it's only the English that has to be real. Okay, folks? See you next time.